Hi, and welcome to the Law Simplified. I'm Shaveen Bandad-Nayak. If you clicked on this video, I would presume that you fall into one of three categories. You're either a student on the verge of sitting for an examination, you feel completely unprepared, and you found yourself down a YouTube rabbit hole, so to speak, the night before the examination or the assignment submission on how exactly you can quote-unquote cheat at your law exam. You might also fall into the category of a student who has just begun your academics. You've skimmed through the material that's provided to you by your university, such as the textbooks and the subject guides, and you've suddenly felt overwhelmed. And just in case, you start looking into other avenues of getting through your examinations or assignment submissions to come, in the months to come, so to speak. Or you might fall into the third category. Those of you who are subscribed to my YouTube channel, my Fast Track and Masterclass students, and those who have followed me on the various platforms the Law Simplified is disseminated in. Trying to figure out why, after all these years of making lessons and techniques on how to go from a pass to an ace, I've suddenly come up with an idea of how to cheat at a law exam. If you are the third category, welcome back to the channel, as well as whatever platform that you're watching this particular lesson on. This is not what you think. If you're part of the second category, there are plenty of resources available on this very channel, as well as my online law school, which you can access through the links in the description below, as well as that which will appear on screen right now, for you to actually go from a pass to an ace and not feel overwhelmed by the content that's provided to you by your university. However, if you are in the first category, you need to get out of the mindset of the concept of cheating as you know it. And even in this 11th hour, there's plenty that you can do to try and leverage the information that you have, the knowledge that you have, again, through the links in the description below. Now, before I begin, I must preface what I mean by cheating. Now, for most of you, you might consider cheating as taking notes or information to an examination hall that you're not supposed to. But what I mean by cheating is to have access to information that other students would either not have access to or wouldn't even think of seeking out. Now, what I mean by this is not what you will take with you physically to an examination, or for that matter, try and incorporate under the table, so to speak, when it comes to an assignment submission, but rather diving into areas of academics that other students wouldn't dare go. In terms of the information that is provided to you by your university, it might be in the form of textbooks, it might be in the form of subject guides, it might be in the form of tutorials or workshops that they conduct. But there are certain aspects that students don't tap into, which you can, in order to leverage your responses. Two key words that you need to remember, and something I often refer to in my Fast Track and Masterclass courses as well. Graph search. By and large, the information that I am impressing upon you to leverage yourself on in terms of your responses are journal articles based on graph searches. Now, on the one hand, you would have received access to online libraries such as Westlaw, LexisNexis, and the works. These libraries provide a rich database of not just case summaries and case law in general, but also astute academic articles by scholars from all around the world. Not only will you have access to this, but it also incorporates powerful search engine tools that provide an opportunity for you to dive deeper into specific areas of an article. Now, on the one hand, this is quite important if you want to understand a particular subject area further than that which is provided through a textbook or your university. You not only will be able to get a better grasp of the fundamentals, but you'll be up to date in terms of changes in the law that has taken place post the printing of the actual textbook itself. On the other hand, from the perspective of an examiner, when he or she marks an examination paper or an assignment submission, the chances of that examiner seeing something which is novel and interesting from you are far greater if you have leveraged on these articles or journal reports that you'll find on the online libraries. What's more, the examiners will not hesitate to reward you for that effort when they have been seeing hundreds of scripts with the same precedent case law, the same textbook references, and along comes you by substantiating your arguments not only with specific articles but more obscure points of view and arguments that are substantiated in a way that other students had not even dreamed of doing. This, in fact, is the secret of becoming a first-class student in your academics and then leveraging that ability and that technique later on in your career as well. Right. This is something that I've stressed and I've tried to impress upon students from all around the world for quite a long time. And the only way that I felt that I could take it above and beyond, a step further, so to speak, just to make sure that you understand how important this is and how this technique is not simply something that you'll have in your repertoire as a nice to have, rather it being a fundamental component of your study and exam preparation, was to have a lesson or a video in a manner that you would understand, whichever type of student that you are. But once again, I need to preface, the concept of cheating as I'm looking at it is to have an access or have sources of information that others would not have access to before the fact. This is not by any means asking you or suggesting to you to commit an academic offense, rather to have an unfair advantage over other students by leveraging the types of information and sources that you're provided by your university itself that others would not even think of pursuing. But having said that, until the next time that we speak, have fun, stay safe, and as always, obey the law.